Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So this is another update. I'll try to do this one a wee bit quicker, but this is just bits and bobs that I've finished up recently enough. And this is actually one of the robots featured in the last video that came out quite nice with all the rusted effects and stuff like that. He's pretty cool actually. I like how he came out, and I used some of the UV resin then to give a bit of a shine to his lenses here. So I'm happy enough with him. And this guy as well was really cool. I started off I was marking where I wanted to put his mouth with some pencil, and then I was just like, hey, do you know, I could just put some kind of graffiti on him, and write little bits and bobs and initials and this like little that's my boy, so that kind of shit, or this recognizable symbol. I don't know. Everybody used to write that everywhere. That S. I don't know where it came from. And love heart and stuff like that. So he's a little bit more friendly looking because he's been graffitified. But yeah, the rust effects and all this kind of stuff. It's really fun on these guys. So I'm going to do more of these in the future. But that's my two beep boops at the moment. Happy enough with them. So as you can see in the background, there's a load of shit here. Over there, basically, just a scan over it. These are all actually finished minis, which is, I know, pretty crazy turnaround, right? For me anyway. These are little Pokemon figures, and I recently found a primer, that an undercoat, a spray that works as the Halford's Grey for auto, like for cars and that, and it actually works on these figures, these Pokemon figures that I've used in the past, and I could never find a primer that works. So these ones are just kind of, my boy loves painting them, so we spray them, and he just paints them in a solid color. And these are a few that I've kind of went ahead and did a little bit extra to. Looking at these guys were Cloyster. If you know your first gen Pokemon, you know what I'm talking about. I really should have just put a row of teeth here, so it would have been two jaws coming like this. It would have been awesome. I'll see if I'll do that with the rest of them, but these are just, I know, silly monsters. I've three of these kind of Kyogre looking guys, that I don't know what they will be used for, but it's just another kind of weird creature to have. And then in the background here, you'll see, look, the selection of Reaper bones. These are all little rats from alternative armies. So there's a set of like giant rats which are painted up really nicely, really quick. These are Tentacruel, sorry, that just turned into some statues, added some texture. You got some rock men here in the back. You got some zombies. You got some terrain finished up. You got this guy from Reaper, the Reaper Bones 5, I think it was. He was a lot of fun, with his goofy tree heads. And not the best painter, but I feel like he's a little bit cartoony, so I just kind of went with that. He was cool. You got this guy as well, Reaper Bones 5, some kind of, I'm not sure of the creature now off the top of my head. And then these guys from Alternative Armies as well. Just I have featured in my last video as well. I just put some washes on them and maybe a slight highlight, and they're grand, tabletop standard kind of thing. Pretty grand. Actually, I did do his eyes, but you know what? They looks like they didn't come out great, so I'm not too worried. This guy as well was one of the wrestlers that I've been working on for a while. That turned out, I'm pretty happy with him. I think his face is a bit goofy. I used an orc head from Cromlech, I think it is. And I kind of wish I just sculpted the lower, his chin, we'll say, and his jaw, and his mouth, his teeth, that kind of thing, because I think he looks a bit goofy. But the texture and stuff on his sword is pretty cool. His sword is absolutely huge. Like, he's got this one big armored arm, and this one is a little bit less armored. I don't really know what to use these for. They're just fun at this scale. So this is the 28mm guy here. So he's a fair bit bigger, but I don't know. They're a lot of fun to make. I think I was talking about them in previous videos. Then in the back there, you'll see this finished up. This hut got finished up, so that's another bit of terrain for my village. So work in progress is right. So these are more the little Pokemon that this blue actually looks very different on camera than it does in real life. It's crazy. It's very different. But these little different Pokemon, now it's not Gen 1, so I'm not going to know what this Pokemon is called. But they prime up with this primer that I found. These bases are from Alternative Armies as well. They're just a bit of resin. They're actually about 20 mil wide. So they work. So I'm just going to have this little kind of herd of these little creatures. Nothing specific, but just for another little set of minis to use for something at some stage, hopefully. And these actually little vultures came off of three of these. They were a part of the model back here, which is the zombie giant that came with Bones 5, I believe it is. So I just took them on a base, put some washers on it, add some weight on it, and the vultures, one was on his head, one was on the shoulder. I think one was to go on the base, but I thought, hey, look, he looks pretty cool like this, so he would be fun to paint up. and I put some cracker paint on bits and bobs like that. Just add a little bit extra on the flat portions of his skin, but yeah, really cool pose as well. You can hear him kind of creaking in your head if you can imagine, like a zombie giant would be pretty disgusting. This guy was a little robot as well. I just threw together with this kind of ball instead of legs. I just thought it might make sense. It kind of reminds me of Claptrap from Borderlands actually, and BB-8 mixed together. But scale wise, yeah, he works like 28 mil kind of guy. On a smaller base as well for the one from Alternative Armies. I just like having actual round bases. In the back here as well, this is another Bones 5. He's been primed up, so I'll put some paint on him at some stage. Just a dragon. I don't think I've ever actually painted a dragon properly, which is kind of mental. And then this guy, trying to race through these, is a toy pig that got converted, I suppose. So this is the scouring pad that's on the Nashers, the stuff I've mentioned in the past. I don't have any handy now to show you. But yeah, it's in previous videos, and just to cover him up in this big, massive, he's huge, like, he's ridiculous. Absolutely huge, massive pig, And I re-sculpted his face to make him look a bit gruff, gave him some wrinkles there, because he was actually kind of a happy-looking pig. And I gave him some tusks here as well, so he's going to be quite simple to paint up, but I think, I don't know what's the, I say he, but he's obviously got teeth there, so it's a female, but just another big mad creature to have. And this is actually Fomex. I think it's about 90 mil. So maybe it's not a suitable base for everything, but nice bit of texture on it there. And the Fomex is lovely material for that kind of stuff. It's used in signage and that kind of thing. So I get that from work, I guess scraps. So it's handy out. It's great for terrain as well. So it's pretty great material all around actually. So that's him. I'm going to paint him up and glue him on there. And that's going to be another big mad crazy creature. To finish up then, I think these guys are some of my favorite things I've been doing recently. These are little pigmen. I had this idea. Mantic Games has this set called Abyssal Dwarves, I think they're called. I think I have them here. Kings of War. Yeah, Dwarf, Black Souls Regiment. So those guys, heavily armored dwarves. I saw them, right, and they were cheap enough, so I said I'll fire away, and kind of had the idea straight away of sculpting on different heads basically and making them these little dark pigmen, you know what I mean, these bad guys, little pigmen. And I've also given the little piggy noses as well to any of the bits on their armor. So his head was sculpted, and I changed their feet just to give them hooves. Now the feet are a bit, they're not great, but I don't mind, because it was all about having the fun of sculpting their little pig heads. So that's just a bit of green stuff, like, and this guy actually has a lot of character. I like his big fat chin. Worked out quite well actually. Looks like a bit of a leader. And they have these blunderbusses, which is very Chaos Dwarf, with their sharp teeth. So it's combining. I really like sculpting pig faces. I don't know, they're kind of fun. And I thought their stout and kind of stocky build really suited pigs. And then they have the sharp teeth as well, which is always fun as well. Now they are a bit obviously unsymmetrical and messed up, but I actually think I really like them because of it. This guy's a bit goofy actually. I post them somewhere and they're talking about, like, they kind of look like pigs in space as well, and I'm like, hey, you're not wrong, totally. Oh, that's terrible. Look, I missed a bit there. I should have put some kind of filler on that. Hey, pretend you didn't see that one. And a big pig nose here. So that's kind of what they look like. Just a bit of green stuff. And the face is very, very kind of messy. This guy I have to fix his lip and do his teeth properly, but then he'll be another one added to the ranks. And I've been having fun with these two-handers. So this is going to be a guy with a big kind of pike or mad spear. This is how I cut down their feet to stubs, and then you put the hooves on after. This guy's a hoof here, and this big mad axe. Just with a bit of plastic art. So he's going to be cool as well. Or they're a lot of fun just to do the faces. Then last up, actually, I forgot about this guy. This guy was originally another one of the wrestlers. So he was a wee bit smaller. He was like, I think I actually just extended him a bit, stretched him out. And he's been changed up completely almost. All this is just like paper and PVA or Mod Podge and dentifloss. And then I'm going to give him, maybe use some beads, some tiny beads, or some green stuff or something to add some detail to this kind of necklace he has. And his face is going to be this crazy sorcerer kind of face. I think it's inspired by some Morkborg or Forbidden Psalm kind of artwork as well. And these are just bones from a Halloween toy that I think was bought 2-3 years ago, but I'm still using bits of it. That's going to be his horns. I don't know. I'm planning on maybe giving him like really thin fingers as well, coming out here and here. I'll see, and doing some kind of movement. But yeah, he'd be a cool big bad. You know what I mean? Probably give him a bigger base and add some texture to the cloaks and everything like that. But I think painting him up is going to be cool. I had a lot of fun doing his creepy smile, and the way his little eyes are inset into his sockets there. I think will be really cool. But that's it, guys. That's kind of as usual, kind of random shit that I'm working on. But I thought I'd try and keep this one a wee bit shorter. Yeah, do all the things, let me know what you think, or if you're interested in any of these things, you're going to try them out yourself. Like things like this is so cool because you can just buy a kit and be like, I'm not sculpting a body or arms and legs and stuff like that. I just like the kit and I'm going to change the head, and then they're completely new. You know what I mean? They're not dwarves, they're this completely new creature, So I'd say it might be a workaround, especially for just getting into sculpting, because then, you can practice your heads. Especially if it's something goofy like this, you could make them dogmen, you can make them little mice or something like that. I've been thinking about maybe using halflings and making them little mice people, which could be quite cool. Just doing new faces, doing new heads. But anyway, look, yeah. I'll leave it there, and I'll catch you in the next one. Do the, like and comment and whatever if you want to. And yeah, like I said, good luck. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.